Hi, Victoria. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Okay, so today we have Victoria on the line, and Victoria is April LaJune's daughter, and I wanted to go ahead and have you kind of introduce yourself, Victoria, and let us know why it is that you decided to come forward and talk to people about some of the things that are happening with April LaJune and her channel.
Okay. Well, my name is Victoria, and as you heard, I am April's daughter, and I moved away from her when I was 16. I lived in Colorado with her, in Missouri, at the Lake of the Ozarks. I'm sure there have been other states that I don't remember, but there have been a lot of things that I have seen her do, and at the time, when you're a kid, you don't realize that these things are bad.
Right, right. Yeah, it's very difficult when you're a child to recognize when a parent is doing something that's, not right. You kind of automatically want to grab on them as they're always doing the right thing. So I can see where you would have been confused as a younger child. How many children are there total, Victoria?
Total, there are 7 children, and sadly, one is deceased.
Okay. All right.
7.
Okay. And how many children are from each one of the marriages? Because I know that you had mentioned to me when we spoke earlier there were several marriages.
So her first marriage, she had 3. She had 3 boys.
Okay.
And then got divorced. I don't know when that was. And then her second marriage, she has 2, which would be one of my older sisters, and then my deceased sister.
Okay.
And then she had my younger sister, and they weren't. I guess you could say that they were married under the state, like they didn't legally get married. What is the word?
Common law? Common law?
Yes.
Okay.
So she had my younger sister with him, and then for me, I don't really know.
Do we need to take a quick break here?
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
And then me, I don't know who my dad is. That was never discussed with me. She just told me that I came from someone else that wasn't very good.
Okay, I see. All right. So where are you in the order of the children?
I am second to last. So
second to last.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, let me make sure I get this right. Second to last, so that would be you are second to the eldest or second to the youngest?
I'm second to the youngest, so I would be the 6th.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right. And do you know, is she legally married to Hossinger, or is that a common law marriage?
I don't have the answer.
Okay.
A lot of us think that she's not legally married, even though she's told us multiple times that she is. We don't believe that she is.
I see. Okay. All right. So starting from, and I know this is a lot of intricate detail here, but these are questions that have been asked. So starting from maiden names, in what order of married names so in other words, like I know that you've got her maiden name is Noland, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so starting from Noland, in what order do the actual names go in? And the reason this question is being asked, I believe, although this was not my question, of course, this is a subscriber's question, I think it's a matter of there seems to be a lot of aliases that are used by her with a lot of the court cases and stuff that have been located, so I think that's why they're asking that question.
Okay, so her maiden name, Noland.
Mm-hmm.
April Noland. And then you have Brush.
Brush, okay.
And then McGill.
Okay.
And then for the common law, I mean, she did use this name, Henneman.
Okay.
She went by April Henneman, or even she also went by Cindy Henneman. So she did change her name for a little bit.
Cindy?
Yes, she went by Cindy, S-I-N-D-I.
Oh my, okay. That's a new one. That's one I had not heard before. Do you know why that was the case?
From what I remember, my dad telling me is that she was trying to start a band and she didn't like the name April, so she switched it to Cindy.
Okay, but her middle name really is LaJune.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so then we had Henneman, you said, and then after that, is that when Hossinger comes in?
Yes.
Okay.
She used McGill and LaJune as her last name for a while until she met Hossinger.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Now, for the people that have been doing some checking into her due to the scam that's going on right now, I have been forwarded information that there is record of bad check writing and theft in Missouri. Is there any other criminal activity that you're aware of?
Well, I'm sure there's some in Colorado. I believe she had a warrant out for her in Colorado, but I think it was for writing bad checks because she used to have her own TV cooking show out in Colorado as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard about that, where she was kind of almost like a Martha Stewart type of character in it.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right. What happened there? Is that that's where you're saying there would be bad checks from that scenario? Yeah.
So she had a few people working for her, from what I can remember, and I mean, just like now, she couldn't surprisingly pay for them or pay them and that kind of stuff. So she ended up stopping the show and left my sister, me, and my dad behind out in Colorado and took off to the Lake of the Ozarks.
She left in order to avoid prosecution, you mean?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. All right. So, do you know around when that was? Was that what time of, like, was it in 2003, 2004? Do you know around when that was?
Let's see. It probably was about 2012.
Oh my. Okay. Quite a bit sooner. Okay. All right.
Because I was like 11, I believe, when all of this stuff was going on. You know, I mean, with everything that's happened, I do remember some things, but I also try to forget some of those things.
Sure, I can imagine that would be something that would be difficult as a memory for you. When she actually did leave, did she leave permanently?
Yes, we ended up having to move to the Lake of the Ozarks with her.
I see. Okay. You know, in her videos, she mentions lots of jobs that she's held. What is your understanding of why she's not had a consistent work history?
Because she doesn't like being told what to do.
That was plain and simple. Okay. So has this been a consistent scenario of her attempting to try to find some form of a niche that she can run herself where she is the entrepreneur of it, and then she just hasn't been lucky with finding something that she can do that's not a scam? Because it does seem like there has been multiple things that have turned out to be of a criminal nature, we'll say. This one that's going on right now, of course, and then previously, I believe many people have mentioned to me there was some form of an eBay scam that was going on.
Oh yes, that eBay scam.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So it was when I was 14, she started this eBay thing, and she started practicing celebrity signatures. So she would look at celebrity signatures, and she'd practice on papers, and until she got it exactly right, she wouldn't autographed the pictures. Okay, and so when she would get it down, she'd autograph the photo and stick it on eBay, and she made her own certificate of authenticity and everything.
Wow.
And
how long did this go on?
Maybe a year, until she found some other way to make money.
Okay.
Yeah, and as she figured out that it was making her money, she went to signing guitars and T-shirts and doing mystery boxes of like Kenny Chesney or Keith Urban, that kind of stuff, like mostly singers.
Wow. So whatever ended up happening to that, did anyone ever come back at her that you're aware of? Was she caught in any way by her customers?
That I'm aware of, no.
Okay.
She's okay with it.
So the story that I have gotten is that she stopped using her own eBay account and started using her husband's eBay account because apparently eBay got wise to it.
Yes.
So there must have been some complaints there. We just don't know about what those complaints are. In order for, yeah. So what do you have kind of a feeling on what happened there as far as why it was that she went to, did she just continued on to do this even after she had been shut down?
No, after a while, she decided to open up her own like thrift store down at the lake, buying out storage units that haven't been paid for.
Oh, I see. Okay, the auctions?
Yes.
Okay.
So she out and she opened her own thrift store, and then when we couldn't pay rent, we moved to a different. We left and we moved to a different place to have a thrift store. And they weren't really like actual stores. They were basically like storage unit, had the garage door and everything. And my dad turned it into like a little apartment.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So would you consider that was a legitimate business?
Yes, she tried. She really did try for a while. But then she moved on to something else. Like, she just, if it's not enough money for her, she moves on to the next thing.
Right. Right. Okay. So besides the eBay scam and the current scam that she's running right now, I understand that there was an in-between scenario of a bed and breakfast situation that she claims she was completely in the right on, but a lot of other people have come forward and said differently. Do you know anything about that situation?
I wasn't there for any of that, but I have heard things about it as well.
Okay.
So I can answer yes or no.
Okay. All right. So let me pick back up here with have you had situations where she has used any personal information of yours or anyone else's in the family where she has left you with bills on your credit report or that needed to be paid or anything of that sort? We've gotten reports kind of similar to that, not necessarily with family, but identity theft type of issues.
Not me personally, but one of my brothers, she purchased a car in his name.
Oh, my goodness.
And it got repossessed because she wasn't paying for it, and they called him and tried to go after him for the money. He told them that he never bought a car and that he wasn't going to pay the money, and as far as I know, everything was dropped. Like,
okay. All right.
He had to pay the money for it.
Oh, my goodness. That's rough there. Okay. I'm sorry?
He was not happy.
Yeah, I'm sure. Do you ever remember a time when she wasn't like the April LaJune that we see on her channel? Was she ever a normal mom to you in terms of, just, I mean, you said for that short period of time she was trying with the thrift stores.
Yes, there were times here and there that she acted like a mother. She was there. She was at home. She was teaching us. She was cooking and doing everything that a mom normally does.
I see. That's good. What do you think was the reason for the big? What do you think the reason for the big changes on and off in her have been?
I think it has to do a lot with her past, with my grandparents, the way they treated her, the way she was raised. They blamed a lot of things on her.
I see.
Because they believe you have married before you have kids, and that didn't happen. She did get pregnant before she was married, so they blamed her for the marriage failing, and that you couldn't remarry. That wasn't an okay thing, and so I think after a while she just got tired of being blamed for things and just went her own thing, even though she knows doing things that she knows, I'm sure, is wrong.
Mm-hmm. But kind of a means to an end type of scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she believes her own lies now. Like, I really believe that she believes them.
Really? When was the last time that you actually saw her face to face?
It was May.
You did see her in May. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And did she seem okay to you, or did she seem not okay to you?
She seemed like her normal self, just being bossy and yelling at people.
Okay. Well, we know that she's already given notice to the owner of the property that's in Aztec, New Mexico, where she was living. Do you suspect that she's going to go anywhere specific now?
She told me that she wanted to move back down to the Lake of the Ozarks to be closer to her kids.
Okay.
I don't know how much of that is true, but...
Right. Let me ask you, have you had the opportunity to look at the website that's called Hossinger Homes?
No, I didn't know that there was a website.
There is a website, Hossinger Homes, and I wanted to find out whether you were aware of it, because the two properties that are on that site, in which she is got her actual picture on the site, she created the site, and she's got it on there kind of like you would see a realtor. And the site is all about, being able to get into a home with no credit or bad credit. And it seems to me that since the properties on there actually are not located, they both state that they're located in Durango, but neither one of them are real properties. It just looks kind of suspicious, so I wanted to check with you and see whether or not you had taken a look at that.
No, I have not, but okay. I will.
Yeah, I can forward you that link so you can look at it. It's got, it's Hossinger Homes, so that's, of course, her husband's last name. And, again, she is the web designer on it. But it's very suspicious looking because of the fact that, it's making a lot of claims that are generally not a possibility. So I just wanted to ask you about that. So let me ask you this. If you had one thing or not one thing, but anything that you wanted to tell everybody that is considering the possibility of buying one of April's packages, which run anywhere between $350 and $450 in order for her to do this paperwork, which has been debunked over the last 40 years. The scam has been going on. It's been debunked over and over again. And they are pieces of paper that can actually get people into a lot of legal trouble. So my question for you is, what would you tell them? What would be your advice to anybody who would be considering doing business with April at this point? Because I know that's why you came forward.
I wouldn't do it. I would not trust her with my money at all.
Okay.
She takes everybody's money and then blames you for doing it. Like, it's not worth it. It's going to ruin you in the end. She's taken my money before, and she's taken my dad's money, and he, in the last couple of years, has finally got himself out of the debt that she has put him in.
Wow. Okay. All right. She's talked about the police being called quite frequently to, home, to her office. Is that something that is is that something that was a normal thing that progressed that you're aware of? It seems really odd to be talking about that kind of thing on camera to me.
I wouldn't say like all the time. If anything, the police were called, or CPS was called, because me and my younger sister were not in school.
Okay. All right.
And a lot of people saw that. A lot of her friends saw that and were concerned. And that would be another reason why we would pick up and move.
Because of CPS investigations?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I think that's about probably all of the questions that I need to go over. Is there anything else that you would like to say that you want out in the open? I think that everybody's really going to appreciate the fact that you are standing up for what's right. I know it's a very difficult interview for you to do, but I want to make sure that anything else that you have to say to people out there, you're able to get out. So I'm just going to give you the floor if that's okay with you.
Yeah. I'm just going to say that, yes, she is my mother, and yes, she did give life to me and all this kind of stuff, but that does not excuse the things that she is doing, and I should not be covering for her just because I am her daughter.
Right.
If you guys have family members that are doing this and you're afraid just because your guys are family that it's going to upset them, you need to do it, because you're hurting a lot more people by not speaking up than, just hurting one family member.
I agree. Well, I want to thank you so much, Victoria, for coming forward. It was very brave and courageous of you. It's unbelievable to me that you've gone through some of the things that you have, and I wish you well. I'm going to go ahead and end the interview here. So from this point forward, it's just you and me, okay?